Hey there, my name is Ed Steele, owner of Lote, Accessories and Unique Designs in Second Life. And what I'm going to attempt to do today is to show you how to put patches on one of our patchable vests that's available in Second Life. We have had customers come to us needing a little bit more information than what the note card gives them as far as instructions on how to put patches on their vest. And the note card is pretty detailed, but sometimes, and I'm one of them, it's easier if you see how it's done rather than just read the instructions on it. So that's what we're going to do. One of the vests that we'll be doing is just like the one I'm wearing. This is a denim vest available from Lote, but we'll be working with the black leather vest. But the patchable vests from Lote, they all work the same way: male, female, standard sizes, and aesthetic sizes. It doesn't matter if it's patched, or I'm sorry, if it's textured in denim or one of the camouflage patterns or the black leather. If it's patchable, this will work. Now, this technique will also work with a lot of the other vests available in Second Life, but we're going to be talking about the Lote vest. Okay, so with that being said, let's get started. I am going to res a vest out for you, and let me get in my inventory. Male black biker chain vest, scroll down, and I wear the large and the standard size, so that's what I'm going to res out and show you how to patch. And we'll put it on the ground. Now let me say this: never try to patch your vest while wearing it. You are sure to make a mistake, and it's just harder to do. It's much easier to put it on the ground and work on it, and it also gives you an automatic copy. I drug that vest to the ground, but yet the original is still there. That way, if I mess this one up, I still have the original. So I'm going to close this box, and I'm going to zoom into the vest, give us a little bit better view of what is going on here. And the first thing I want to explain to you is, on the male vest there is 11 patch faces that you can change and manipulate or just make go away. And of course there's one on the back. And while I am talking about it, let me bring my inventory window back up, and we will go to objects because I had one of these out a few minutes ago. The female vest. Let me put the female vest right here next to it. That is the female vest, and there is 8 faces on the front of it, and of course one on the back. I will be working with the male vest, but the female vest works exactly the same way. Everything I show you will work on either, however you say it, depending on where you're at on the planet. It will work on either one of them. Okay, first things first, let me show you how to even grab one of the patches to work on it. You right click on the vest, you see the whole thing is highlighted. Click Edit, and then you go to this Select Face button right there. Let me pull this down just a little bit. Okay, we've done the Select Face option. Now I use Firestorm, and I believe in some of the other viewers that may call it Select Texture, but in this case we'll be using Select Face, and that's the General tab. We'll go over to Texture, and we're going to select this patch right here. See, it has multiple listed right now in this texture window. That's because we have the entire vest selected. We have not clicked on a face yet. So we'll go to that patch, which is the eagle patch, and let's say we want to make that go away. We don't want a patch there at all. So what we'll do we'll go to this transparency window, and right now it's set at 0 transparency. You just click that all the way up until it's at 100, and the patch appears to be gone. We can come out of edit, and as you can see, no trace of the patch, yet it is still there. Go back into edit, click select face, click that same area, and there's the patch. We want to bring it back in view. Just bring the transparency all the way back to 0, and there it is. Now I need to explain to you how important it is that you select the right texture that you're working on. Let me show you what happens if you misclick and you select that. You've actually selected the vest texture itself. But let's say I did not notice that. So I hit the texture window and I go all the way up here, and let's say I was going to put a Army name tape patch on that. And I'm playing devil's advocate here. We open the patch window, and let's say I wanted to put the veteran green, or the U.S. Army. We'll try that one. So I wanted to put that on there. Better yet, let's just not even go that route. How to patch your vest. I made a sign. Boom. Look what I've done. Looks like I really screwed it up, doesn't it? And I have. How do I keep... You didn't even see that. I clicked that right there, and I accidentally put that texture where the vest texture was. So how do I correct that? Well, if I have not yet clicked OK, I can click cancel, and it will put it back like it was. But let's say that I did the bad thing, and I put this texture, which is actually a sign, on that vest, and I clicked OK. Well, you don't have that vest texture. That's not included with the vest. So what you'll have to do is go back to your inventory. Yeah, this is why I told you to do this earlier. I still have my main vest, so I'm going to res it right here. After I get rid of this, more, delete, and put my vest back out. Okay, that was just an example of what can happen, why you need to make a copy of your vest before you start manipulating it. Okay, we have made this patch transparent and brought it back, and then we learned, be sure of where you click. I want to show you one other thing while we're on the front real quick. Edit, select face. I'm going to select that eagle patch again. Okay, this full bright button, what does that do? Well, you click that, and it actually lights that patch up. You can't tell it in the daylight. But let me change my world settings and put the sun position at midnight. Look at how that stands out. Now, if you wanted to do your entire vest that way, you could do that by using full bright and illuminating any patch you wanted to. Personally, I don't think it looks very natural, so I am going to go back into edit, click select face, go back to that patch, take it off of full bright, and that has brought it back to the same lighting as the rest of the patches on that vest. So now I am going to put my lighting back where it was. so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, now, what have we accomplished? We've learned how to make a patch transparent. We've learned not to click the wrong face, or we could mess up. And we've also learned why it's a good reason to have a backup copy of your vest. And then we've also learned a little bit about the full bright option in the texture window. So now it's time to get busy and start working on our vest. Alright, we get our camera situated here. And as I said earlier, we're going to be working on this male vest. Excuse me. Okay, we want to put a patch where the Lote advertising patch is. So we go right click, go to edit, and as you can see, the entire vest is lit up. We've selected the whole vest. We're still in our texture tab, and we're going to click select face. Now that gives us the option to select any face on this vest. We could work on the belt. If we had a texture for it, we could work on the actual vest texture. You can tint it from this position, but we're going to work on this patch. And as you can see, the patch area is highlighted. That's the only thing we have selected, and that patch is showing up in this box. Well, what patch do we want to put on it? Well, let's bring our inventory window back in view, and let's go. I had an Army patch kit opened earlier, so that's what we'll use. Let's say we want to use, let's see, here's a back patch. There's two back patches in this particular kit, Army Warrior and Army Veteran. Let's go with Army Veteran. Let's open that. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, as you can see, there is a lot of transparent area around that particular patch. When I make patches, I do that on purpose. That way it gives me more room to slide the patch around, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But I can expand it, make it smaller, bigger, and I need that extra transparent area to be able to do that. And then you can also see that there's some drop shadowing that I placed on the patch itself. This way it will help the patch stand out from the vest a little bit. It won't look like it's just printed or painted on. It'll look more like it has depth. Okay, now one thing I do want to caution you on, because you can use any patch that you want to. I mean, it doesn't have to be from Lote. You can make your own, but don't try to use a background behind your patch where the transparent area is here, because when you do, it will definitely show up against that vest. You need to use some kind of a patch texture with a transparent background, or it just won't look like it won't blend like it should. Okay, so that's the patch we want to put on the back of this vest. Okay, how do I do that? I need to get this patch on that vest. So to do that, I click this box right here. That is the texture box selected for this area of the vest. So I click that, and it brings up my texture pick window. So let's go up here. We're not going to use this one like we did before. That's not what we want. We want this one. So the best way to find that is just in this area here, type in the name of that patch, and it is Lote back patch for vest. Okay, and I don't even have to type the entire thing in. My folder shows up right here, Lote Army Patch Kit, which is what this is, and Army veteran, that's the one I'm looking for right there. So when I click this, it automatically puts the patch on the vest. I can now close this box, and now if I'm not satisfied with the positioning or the size of that particular texture, I can go down here on the texture tab of the edit window, and where it says horizontal scale and vertical scale, where these numbers are, I can manipulate those numbers and make the patch bigger and smaller. Let me show you. If I down click this, it makes it wider because that's the horizontal, or narrower. And if you do it too much, the texture will start repeating itself. So we're going to put it back right around there, and we can manipulate it this way as well, up and down, using the vertical scale. But we're going to put it right there. Now if you need to manipulate that patch between the jumps that the arrow gives you, like right now it's at 1, if I down click it, it goes to 9. Let's say I wanted the width of it between what 9 gives me and what the 1 gives me. Well, I'll come down here to 9, and behind the 9 I'll type a 5, and then when I change my cursor to the next window, it accepts that command, and it just made that patch just a little bit narrower. And the same thing goes for the vertical scale. Because the way this one is set right now, 1.05, if I go up, it goes 115. If I come down more, it goes to 9.5. Well, that 9.5 is a little stretched out too much for me. Give it a little bit more. Now that looks right to me, but if I wanted to increase or decrease the height, I would do it right here, and I could manipulate those numbers a little bit. Now if you go down here to the bottom, you have vertical and horizontal offset. What that does, it doesn't change the size, it repositions the texture itself. You can do up and down as well, but that looks like it's pretty good shape. And once again, if you need to fine tune more than what these arrows give you, you just change these numbers right in here. And one more thing I wanted to show you, back up here at the horizontal and vertical scale, you see these arrows right here? You can flip the patch, turn it upside down, or you can mirror it. See how it changes that? So that just gives you a little idea of the ways you can manipulate the patch as far as the size and the exact placement. Let's come out of edit and let's zoom in just a little bit. Now you see how that drop shadow that I put on the patch when I made it, how it helps make that patch stand out from the vest texture. I just think it makes it look a whole lot more realistic. Okay, all right, we've got the back, and we could do the same thing for the female. We do it the same exact way. But let's roll around here to the front, and let's see what we can do with the front of the vest. Okay, first thing I want to do, I don't want these two patches showing. The very top two patches. All right, I go into edit, click select face, and this eagle patch that we worked with before, I'm going to click it. It's showing right there. We'll make it transparent, and we're still in select face. I want to select this face now and make it transparent. Okay, now those two patches appear to be gone. But now, since this vest we are using the Army veteran theme, I'm going to put U.S. Army where Road Captain is and put the name tape Veteran where it says Secretary. So to do that, same process as what we did on the back patch. The patch kit is open. I right click the vest, go to select face, click the Road Captain patch. It now shows up in the texture window. Click that texture window and your texture picker box will come up. And now what I want to do is find the patch that says U.S. Army. Right here it is. And I'll open it and give you an idea what it looks like. Now, once again, a lot of transparent area around that patch, and that is for the reason I explained to you earlier. That gives me a lot more leeway in being able to resize and manipulate the patch placement. So that's why that is done that way. All right, we're going to close that, and now we've got to get this patch over here. So we go into this box right here and we type in the name of the patch. Lote patch name tape. Okay, here's our folder. It showed up, and we want the name tape that says veteran. Right there it is. And we'll click it. The patch appears on the vest, so now I can close this box. But I think I want that patch just a little bit bigger. So we're going to go to the horizontal scale, and we're going to click down, which will make it wider. As you reduce the numbers, it expands the size of the texture. That's at 9.5 and that's at 8.5. I like the 8.5, and it probably needs to be a little taller. So let's take this from 5 down to 4. See how that looks. Oh, I like that. That's easy to read. Okay, we'll leave that one like that. And now we'll go over here and we'll put U.S. Army where it says Secretary. So we went into Edit, select Face. We've selected the Secretary patch because that's the one we're going to replace. It's in my texture window. I left click that. My texture picker window will pop up. There it is. Okay, now type in the name of the patch that I want, which is this one right here. Lote patch name tape. And there's my patch kit folder right there. And I want the one that says U.S. Army. And there it is. I can now close this box. But now I want it the same size as the veteran patch. So I go back to the veteran patch, look at my numbers, 0.85 and 0.4. Okay, so I go and I click the U.S. Army patch. It's at 1. Now it's at 9. Now it's at 8. But I want it at 8.5. Okay. Put the cursor right there. Click right behind the 8. Put a 5 in there. Hit enter. And it put the patch at the same horizontal length as the veteran one. Okay, now I want the height like it is on the veteran. So I bring this scale down from 6, 5, 4. Okay. Both are the same. So I'm good with that. Come out of edit. Doesn't look bad. Okay, and you just repeat the same process with the rest of your patches. Whether you want them to show or you want to replace them, you now know how to do that. One thing I do want to show you, I don't know if you noticed the vest I was wearing when this video started, but it was the denim vest and there was no chain on the vest. Well, let me show you a little trick, and I'm talking about the chain right here around where the arms are. You go to edit, click select face, and now we're going to click on the chain. Now that whole section of the chain is highlighted. All we have to do is make it transparent. Take your transparency all the way to 100, come out of edit, and there, the chain appears to be gone. So the Lote vests such as the denim, which the chain is not showing, that chain is actually there. Now you know how to bring it into view if you want the chain to show. Let's bring this one back. Go to select face, hit that chain again. Alright, it's highlighted. We'll take it out of transparency, and now the chain is back. Now some of you may want to have a different color chain to accent your vest a little bit more, depending on which vest you have, whether it be the pink camouflage or the blue denim or the desert camo or the black leather. Let's make this chain like a black chrome. Well, how do we do that? We go into edit, click select face. We're going to click that same piece of chain. Now we're not going to mess with the transparency, but the color we will. The texture for that chain is just blank, it's just white. But we want to change the color, so we click on the color box right here. That brings up our color picker, and we can make that chain any color we want. We can darken it. Excuse me. We can make it a blue. We can make it a yellow. Now a yellow would give it a gold effect. Let me show you real quick. See that? Still has the shine to it. And you can do that with all of the faces that have anything to do with this metal chrome color. But we're going to make that more of a dark chain. So we'll go back into edit, click select face, hit that chain again. Alright, there's our color picker. Now I already had pre-selected a very, very, very dark gray right down here. Click that, and we come out of the color box, come out of edit, and now we have a very dark chain, which might look really good on a black leather vest like this. And you can do the same thing, as I said earlier, with this zipper area, with these metal clips. You just have to go all the way around and do each section of chain and get it to your liking. Okay, let's put the chain back like it was. Go to edit, select face. We're going to hit see how easy it is to mess up. I clicked stretch, select face. Now click the chain again. Alright, it's highlighted. Now all we have to do is take it back to the white, come out of the color picker, come out of edit, and it's back like it was. Now you know how you can manipulate your patches, and even do some work on the other accessories on the vest to your liking. And as I said earlier, this works for the standard size, the aesthetic size, the female. They all work the same as long as they're patchable and modifiable, which if it's patchable it has to be modifiable. But it just gives you a little bit more leeway in fixing your vest the way you want it to appear. Now that you have patched your vest and prepared it the way that you want, before you pick it up and then wear it, you really need to rename it so that it won't get lost or confused with your original vest that you use as a backup. So let's do that now. We'll go into Edit, and now we're going to be working in the General tab. There's the name of the vest right there. Chain vest, patchable, large. Okay. We know it's patchable because we just patched it. Let's put in here patched army. We didn't completely finish patching it, but you have an idea of what you need to do. So now we have named it patched army. That way we can find it, get out of edit, and then I'm going to go. This is just a quirk of mine. I always do it, and I go back and I make sure that the name change took place, and it did. Patched army. Now I am going to have my recent open, and I'm going to open my objects, and now I'm going to go into right click on it and click more, and then take copy, and there it is. It just appeared in my objects folder, patched army. So there is my vest that I just completed patching. I want to show you if I can find myself. Where did I go? There I am. Okay, there is the vest, the denim vest, and as you can see, it has no chains on it that are visible. That's the way it will come when you purchase it. But as I just showed you, you can make those chains visible, but never do it while you're wearing it. So I'm not even going to show it to you as I'm wearing it, how to do it. You already know how to do it. You just take a copy of it, rest it on the ground, and you should be good to go. So I hope this video helped you. If I can get myself back in camera frame. There we go. I can work on vests, but sometimes this camera is a little confusing to me. Yeah, I got a mess up here on my platform where I've been working on stuff. But I hope the video was helpful, and I want to thank you for purchasing Lote products, or even thinking about purchasing a Lote product. But I do hope that this video helped you, and hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.